So let's discuss Spark execution modes. And when I say Spark execution mode, it means that I'm referring to the platforms on which Spark can run. So you will find there are many options on which Spark can run. So I will write down these options here. One is local mode. Second one is standalone mode. Another mode is yarn mode. Another mode is Mesos mode. Another mode is Kubernetes mode. So Spark can run in multiple ways. And if you see, this local mode is for non-production environment. And these are basically okay for production environment. This is not a cluster mode. This is non-cluster mode. And this one is like a cluster. It's a cluster. These are cluster modes, right? So you will find local mode, we have multiple ways to execute. So in local mode, you can execute local with a single thread. This is single thread. Another mode is local with n threads. Another mode is local star, which means that run with as many threads as possible. So this is like how when we say that I am starting a Spark shell. So basically when you start your Spark shell, you will write Spark -shell and then you will specify --master local. And when you are specifying local, you can specify in the bracket local 1, local n. So these options you can specify here in the master itself. So hope it makes sense, like what is, like I can say local 2. Let's say I'm writing local 2. So this is how we start the Spark shell with local mode. So standalone mode means it is bundled with Spark. It is bundled with Spark. So it is quick to deploy, configure, and administer. It is fine for small clusters having maybe nodes less than 100 nodes or 200 nodes. But if it is going beyond 100 or 200 nodes, then we need to think about scalability. So it is fine for smaller clusters, but not for large clusters. So it is less scalable, and it is very quick to start and deploy, configure, administer. So these are the important things that you need to know about standalone mode, and it will have its own daemon, its own master, its own worker, so we can boot those things and then they will start interacting with each other. Apart from that, we also have yarn mode, and in the yarn mode you will find we have 2 modes in yarn. And before we go into those 2 modes, I will talk about the yarn mode. In yarn mode, this is highly scalable, much more scalable compared to standalone mode. So here you can have even 40,000 machines also in a cluster. Apart from that, yarn is from Hadoop, so Hadoop world. So you can say if you are coming from Hadoop world, so you will prefer Spark should run on yarn. We have seen a lot of implementations Spark on yarn. This is a common combination in production environment. You will find a lot of companies still like making use of yarn and running Spark on it. So apart from that, yarn is having its own daemons, and we have a separate discussion on yarn. You must have seen that video also. In case not, then I would highly recommend go to yarn section. You will find a lot of interesting details about yarn. So apart from that, you will find yarn has 2 modes. So one mode is yarn client mode. Another mode is yarn cluster mode. Yarn client mode, when you want, to do interactive data exploration. So this is good when you are doing interactive data exploration. So yarn cluster mode you will use when you are doing some production work. So when you are doing some production work and you want to ensure that the application which is running is a long running application, so then you will prefer yarn cluster because you will get fault tolerance here. So what is the main difference between yarn client and yarn cluster? You will find yarn client mode is having driver running on same machine where you submitted the job, on client machine from where you submitted the Spark job, where you submitted Spark job or Case job or whatever jobs you submitted. So that machine, so it can be like a gateway also, and we have an exercise on yarn client and yarn cluster mode. And here you will find we have this option like yarn cluster mode, and yarn cluster mode is very much useful when we talk about driver is running on the cluster in the application master as part of application master. And when driver is running as part of app master, it is fault tolerant because app master will be retried if there is any failure. So that's why for long running job, for production, you will always prefer yarn cluster. But if you want to do interactive data exploration, you will prefer yarn client mode, because yarn client mode you will be able to see the output there itself, but in yarn cluster mode you will see output in the application master logs, and we have done one exercise also for the same when we were running Spark on yarn. Now Mesos mode. Mesos mode is basically data center operating system, or you can say resource manager, and there are a lot of distributions available, like Mesosphere also provides a distribution, and it is beyond Hadoop. So if you are not coming from Hadoop world, then you can use Mesos. Even when Spark was created in University of Berkeley in 2008, during that time also Mesos was used for running Spark. It supports GPUs functionality since beginning, and yarn added this functionality very late, like just a couple of years back only, or rather I should say April 2018, or I think during that time that Jira ticket was resolved, and after that also it has not come into like a mainstream thing. Like GPUs on yarn are still being like discussed, evolved, so it is still going on, but GPU support is there in Mesos. Apart from that, you will also find this is highly scalable, so you can use Mesos in combination with yarn. So you can have two level of scheduling. So there are applications which are beyond Hadoop can use Mesos scheduler, but if applications are running on Hadoop can use yarn level scheduler. So you can run two levels of scheduling, levels of schedulers or resource managers and RM. Right? So then this is Kubernetes, which is added in Spark 2.3 onwards, and it has another interesting thing, like it can run Spark on containers. So if you want to orchestrate these containers, then you can use Kubernetes, and Spark can run on Kubernetes nowadays. So this is a very high level picture, like how Spark can execute in different execution modes. Hope this gives you an idea which mode to choose when.